So, just saying, alright, they're just turning tail and running. You know, that engagement could have been handled better, and it could have really put the PE players in a much stronger position in general. So, chat's already noticing the fact that I've got a shaved head now. I don't know how many of you were there for when I believe it was Monday when I was casting. You can watch the VODs. They're hilarious. It should be called I Got a Haircut or something. And regardless, I was getting sick of having hair anyway. So, yeah, no, it was wonderful. So, hey team, hello chat. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just doing some replay reviewing for this PE player, for those of you just joining us. I suck with PE. He needed some help. He posted his replay to the PE forums, and I thought I'd give him a hand. Alright, so now we're in a good position because we annihilated these AT guns. We should be capping this after we push him off the midpoint. And he's gotten... Okay, he's only got his one mortar half-track and 2 ACs. His army comp is pretty middle of the road to reasonable. I mean, I don't think he got advanced repairs. No, I don't believe he did. Because I don't... Yeah, he might have, because that Panzer IV is healing pretty quick. I can't really tell. It looks like to me that he didn't get advanced repair, but he definitely could have used it. Which is why he should have gotten Luftwaffe sooner. And he's floating 800 manpower. That is immediately a bad mistake, always. You should never have above 500 early to mid-game as the PE. It's extremely lightning important that you have that. And now we're seeing a little more tunnel vision now. These vehicles are all stuck right here, making it a haven for AT guns like this to just kind of push out max range and fire on whatever vehicles are over here. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a tunnel vision thing going on here. You need to open up your flanks. He was exploring this area up here with his mortar half-track, doing some bombarding and stuff, but like really it wasn't very effective. He didn't push it any further. He could have, but he didn't. He really needs to push out here with the Kettenkrad. Looks like he doesn't have a Kettenkrad anymore. He desperately needs one. If you go Luftwaffe, if you're a PE player, you absolutely need to have a Kettenkrad out at all times. One of my favorite players, Ottoman 2, always has a Kettenkrad. As soon as he loses his Kettenkrad, he starts production on another one almost immediately. Actually, it's not even like sort of a thing like, you know, he'll get it when he's not teching to ACs. It's literally immediately as soon as he loses his Kettenkrad, he gets another one up. That's just good solid play, good solid decision making. You should always have a Kettenkrad on the field as a PE player. It's just such a great utility unit, and it's almost imperative that you have one if you go Luftwaffe, just because the Cloak Kettenkrad is just this amazing unit. It's almost borderline overpowered, but it's not. It's just the most useful utility unit you can get as a PE player. So, once again, these vehicles are still all stuck over here, and the American player knows they're there. I mean, both of these American players know they're there. So, I mean, this is just a really bad place to be, and we're seeing like the snake sort of tighten, the new sort of tighten with these MG placements. But so far, like with these 2 mortar half-tracks, he's still in a very good position. We're seeing it take out these mines, take out these AT guns, and this is where another really key thing happens. What's going to happen is these AT guns are going to push up while they're being bombarded. They're like, oh shit, I'm being bombarded, I better fucking move. So what they do is they start pushing forward. This is an aggressive motion. He's trying to push the AT guns, or sorry, he's trying to push the mortar half-tracks off, like trying to kill them, go for the kill. Like, they'll get bombarded, and they'll just move their AT guns up, try and get some shots off on the mortar, and then as soon as the mortar's back up, the AT gun moves up again. Now, this is a really key moment when the weakness of this sort of AT gun creep is when they start picking up and moving. Alright, so yeah, mortar half-tracks. We still have an AC. This is an extremely good flanking unit, and this is part of the reason why we like to get... Oof. Just treacherous. This is part of the reason why we like to get defensive vet on these ACs, because then they can more effectively flank these AT guns when they're in the part of the phase where they're picking up and moving forward. So when we're seeing this AT gun creep up, we move our mortar half-track back, try and bombard him. Right when we see them pick up and start moving forward again, this is when we bring in our AC and just flank the shit out of it and shoot it. A good place to set the AC is right behind this building, because then there are any AT guns like creeping up, like, you know, how they kind of bunny hop or leapfrog is the word I'm looking for. Leapfrog in front of one another. Like, these AT guns won't be able to shoot at an AC flanking from this side, and this AT gun will have to end up moving back. And then we can enclose some sight to mortar the area behind it, or like mortar wherever these AT guns want to set up. So that is how you engage that sort of AT wall. The PE player also expressed some problems. Oh god, yeah. They notice how they have a lot of map control. As a result of all this map control, they're going to have a lot of munitions for strafe. There's really not much we can do about it at this point. We're going into late game, and we need to kind of keep our options open. We should be capping over here or probing here as well. So I mean, we're really locked into this thought process that the rest of the map is unsafe. And like, if we turn on Fog of War, we're really like frightened to go out. Like, you kind of have to look in the corner of the map here. Like, you know, we've got no vision anywhere, and a cat and crowd would desperately like help the situation so we know how to tackle it. It's just a really bad situation when you have no vision. So probe with a cat and crowd, kind of scout around, and you know, this is when it's kind of okay to be capping with Panzer Grenadiers, because like, then you know they don't just get one-shotted by AT guns or other dangerous things. We need to know where these flanks are so we can just dismantle whatever emplacement play is going on here from the American player, and potentially use the cat and crowd to sight for a mortar half-track. A question in chat has been asked, is a Whirlwind a good choice in this situation? And my answer to that is absolutely. Absolutely is a Whirlwind useful. Because then, you know, we kind of fortify our position over here, our part of the map, you know, prevent further capping on our side of the map by their infantry. Defensive Whirlwind play would be really, really good right here. So, needless to say, we're seeing the AT gun wall creep up. This is a horrible place for them to put their AT guns, by the way, just because you can just easily flank around the side here. But the I Suck with PE player just calls it over and rage quits out. Even though, you know, we just saw this Hetzer roll into the field right in the blind spot of these AT guns and start shooting at this Sherman from behind. By the way, oh shit, sorry, there's like MG firing, whatever. We'll just quit out. Hetzers are just good at killing Shermans, because Shermans can't really do damage to Hetzers, but Hetzers typically can fire back at Shermans and do just, you know, fair amounts of damage, but what's more important is that they don't take as much damage. So, you know, they literally tank Shermans, if that makes sense, like to use, you know, an MMO term or a MOBA term. You know, they just tank Shermans. They just don't take damage from Shermans, but they do dish damage back. So, yeah, and someone else in chat noted that there was 1,500 manpower floated. That's just a horrible amount. Absolutely spend that manpower on a cat and crowd. It's a small investment that can have a huge effect on your play. I feel like this PE player, when he was playing, his thought process was like that, you know, he had the counters he needed on the field, but he wasn't getting the results he wanted. Just try and think more in terms of, you know, what's my current objective right now? What do I need to know to move forward? And so what we didn't have was map awareness, and the best way to fix that map awareness was getting cat and crowds out, scouting the map, using the cloak, and just being really careful with it. There were some micromanagement failures, but they're not the big issue there. I mean, the PE player was still very much in a position to win, even into the late game. Okay, so